What's up, guys? Matthew, you're getting ready to watch the season 2 premiere of Mr. Robot. The first season was so goddamn good. This is one of my shows. I spoke about a lot throughout season 1, but like this is the sort of perfect show for my tastes, my favorite genres. The acting was incredible. The editing, the cinematography, one of the most spectacular season 1s of all time. I remember, I don't remember. I think I ranked it like 5th or 6th, something like that, my favorite season 1s of all time. So, massive props to it. This has my hype exponentially higher than it was, going into the first season, and it was already pretty goddamn high. So, I'm interested to see. Throughout the season, I kept wondering, like, if this is successful, what happens after that? So, I don't know if a majority of the storyline is just going to be sort of keeping ourselves, secret, hidden, FBI, or maybe even Gideon tries to do some research on his own. Not that, well, I mean, he seems very talented and skilled. I don't know if he'd be able to crack it by himself. But he's an enemy. Where the fuck is Tyrell? We've got to find Tyrell. What's going on with Elliot's mind? Is he... Again, they've not tricked me, because I knew the Mr. Robot thing pretty goddamn fast, but they're gonna shock me 23 other ways to Sunday, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited to see how they can surprise me and shock me this season. Angela, I love Angela. I love Tyrell. I want to see so much more Joanna. I love Joanna. I'm excited for this season. And the White Rose, I do want to mention them. I'm very excited to see how they or if they become more central to the plot. I'd be very intrigued to see about that. Other than that, I'm ready to get into it. If you guys like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I have got the full-length reactions up on Patreon. I'm most likely multiple episodes and multiple weeks ahead, so if you check the comments, it'll say the exact episode I'm on if you're interested. And most importantly, if you enjoy the content that I make on the channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It would really help me out. Let's get into it. You see, here's the thing. I've watched this episode at face value, you know what I mean? And now I already have to just fucking assume that what I'm seeing is not actually what I'm seeing. Like, what, this Elliot shit? I don't know. Is he in rehab? I don't know, but he already seemed kind of clean lately. So I don't know. I mean, like, his mom? Really? And then, but no. I thought his mom was dead. Was his mom not dead? Maybe they never spoke about it, but that doesn't... No, something's wrong. That does not make sense. I don't like that. And then even in the scene... Like, so here's the thing. My first immediate gut reaction would be that the mother is in a hallucination. But that's not the case, because they wouldn't do that again. You know what I mean? So maybe that is someone else, and he's putting the mother's like face or likeness on it, but it is an actual... No, but yeah. Because even when Elliot and Gideon were having that conversation, she did not react at all. Oh, but she did eventually. Fuck. No, but if it was actually the mother, she would turn around a lot sooner. So, something's not adding up here. Whether or not I will find that out, I don't know. I forget what episode I think it was episode 2 of the season of last season that I had my first, like, this guy isn't real. So I'm gonna give myself one more episode. To see if I can figure that out. Something's wrong. This is why I love this show, because I don't know everything right away, but I can tell that something just isn't adding up. And maybe that's my paranoia. Maybe I'm just, going balls to the walls trying to, because here's the thing. I could see a world in which I go overboard. In the sense of, I don't trust anything that Elliot says to the point that I may be over distrusting him in situations where it may be of my best interest to believe that what he is saying is actually the real thing. That could be the case. That 1000% could be the case. But I just, something's like, this friend, he randomly met this friend, Leon. He doesn't say anything to him. No. Rehab or what? Jail? Not rehab. Something like that, where he is in a confined space and he is not able to interact. Maybe. But why would he get thrown in jail? Or, like, with the rehab thing, I could see a world in which his sister would force him to go somehow in a conversation. Nobody's allowed to see his therapist. He's allowed to see his therapist, so maybe that is... But maybe he's hallucinating the entire therapy. See, this is what I mean. I can't believe anything. I cannot believe anything. Okay? That shot, like the downward shot, it looks like, when he's laying in bed, it looks like a grave or a tomb or something like that. So, I don't know. Darlene said that they were picking us off one by one. Was that an actual thing, or was that just sort of, cult of personality speak to, get everyone on her side and listen to her? Maybe? Because Trenton and Romero, they're not here. They just don't want to participate. I gotta go back and find that woman. I probably won't. I'll probably learn it next episode again. Relearn it. But yeah, so the only other people in the group were Elliot, Mira, and Trenton. And the others, I don't know. Something's not... It's one of those things too. Of course, the benefit of the internet, and I will not... This is one of those shows that, like... I was speaking about this... What show was I speaking about this? I forget. Damn, I forget what show, but I was sort of talking... Maybe Severance? I don't... One of those sort of mysterious shows that I really like. And I was speaking about how... Even though the temptation is there all the time to sort of like go on discussion boards or all that, I save them typically till the end of the show, because the benefit, or actually the benefit or the negative of the internet is that people are really smart. So I'm sure that, like, me watching this episode, I can tell something's wrong. I'm not latching on to anything specific. You know what I mean? I'm not going like pulling that is incorrect. This is a detail that this is symbolic of something, or it's a Chekhov's gun. Me personally, I'm not grabbing that piece of information, even though I know I can tell that something is wrong. You repeat that process with 20 other people, okay? And this person over here, he's going to grab this over here, and this person's going to grab that, and this person's going to grab that. And you go to a discussion board in which people, coagulate all these theories into something, and I'm sure that people predicted the entire season's plot within the first episode. You know what I mean? After having multiple discussions. So I am very scared to enter that domain, because I do not want to get spoiled. Again, even if I make every single prediction from this point on incorrectly, saying the stupidest, dumbest shit possible, okay? This experience is already one of the greatest experiences I've ever had watching TV. Something about it, it's almost like it's hypnotic. Like I'm glued to the screen. Even when I know that, like, something doesn't make sense, or I know that, like, this is fake, I can't look away. And even going back to the idea of different people pulling different things. For instance, that episode, and I noticed the only sort of detail that I would even have of maybe a hint of something is the fact that there was like 5 or 6 different songs that were played in that. I'm sure, and I wasn't listening to the lyrics, I'm sure that the lyrics or the name of the song or something along those lines maybe has a couple hints as well, but, like, I don't know music, so... Oh my god. And, what was the book that was burning too? That's probably symbolic of something. I probably never read that book, so I don't know what it's symbolic of, but I can tell immediately, hey, that's a detail. That's probably a detail right there. That would, if I was smart or educated, I would probably be able to use that to my advantage to make a theory. But I am stupid, as some have said. I like that Mobley scene. Again, I said in the episode, but I repeat my question: has he always had that? I would assume that he's always had that job, because that is a very sort of smart, safe. You know what I mean? Getting the basic information from the ground level of the company. And then obviously being able to not only go home and use the information you learned at work, but also being able to not fix what you did outside of work in work. So I really like that. Whether or not he's had that job for a while or he just started, you know what I mean? Maybe when the company was, thrown into chaos. That I do not know. Why am I blanking on Price? Price isn't Price. I really like Price. I like this new woman. I really like her. There's something about her. I like her. Scott, he's okay. He's okay sometimes, I guess. But the girl so far, I really like. I need to learn her name. It would be a disservice to her character if I didn't do that pretty goddamn fast. So, other than that, like I said, I'm pretty in the dark here. I'm in the dark. Ooh, hold up. Maybe, you see what I mean, guys? Maybe, because my big sort of takeaway at the end of last season, not takeaway, my big fear was the fact that it was revealed that the cops were on to this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Maybe, I forget the guy's name. The guy with, Krista. You guys know what I'm talking about. That weird guy. Maybe he went to prison for like 3 or 4 months. You know what I mean? Something he did there. That they got information that he'd done, and it's sort of like a minor infraction of the law. And he's there for a couple months, and maybe, and then maybe Gideon visiting is sort of like, maybe him visiting is the equivalent of like a you know what I mean, when you're in prison and the behind the bars things, bars, glass. You guys, come on, guys, I'm a little shot here. But maybe that makes sense. And he's got a friend, like maybe a cellmate. No, maybe the woman is a cellmate, and obviously it'll be a man. But he's putting the face of his mother to help him cope with this father, Mr. Robot shit. Dude, Nick, I just want to rewatch the episode now. I don't even want to go on to the next one. I just want to rewatch what I just saw, because I feel like maybe this is slightly cooking. But here's the thing. And I want to, so the other detail that I want to mention about that is he was also watching a basketball game. That is, your classic courtyard sort of, you know what I mean? The thing that I loved about Mr. Robot Season 1 was the fact that not the entire season, the Mr. Robot plot twist, you know what I mean? It was, I'm not going to say obvious, because I'm sure that thousands and hundreds of thousands of more casual viewer who just watched it once, turned it off, didn't really think about it, didn't discuss it, didn't pick it apart, I'm sure that they didn't catch that, and we're very surprised by that. But I feel like Mr. Robot does a good job at catering to theorists, in the sense of, they know that people are going to talk about the show, they know people are going to theorize about the show, they know that if they just give you some three-dimensional plot, you're going to be able to figure it out. So what do we have to do to surprise you? We have to go 5D, we have to go 6D. So I could see, again, the most obvious thing to me is that he is in some sort of rehab institution, jail, something like that. But I'm sure that the creators of this know that I would think that, so they're going to hit me with something. Dude, I'm in love. I'm so in love with this goddamn show. I think that I just want to tell you guys what, and I know that most people who watch this only watch Mr. Robot reactions. That's sort of how YouTube reactions go. You only really watch what you've already seen. You're not going to tune into other stuff that you haven't watched. But I just want to say on a personal note, the shows that I'm watching right now, it is the greatest accumulation of shows I've ever watched at the same time. I am watching such high quality TV that it is fucking insane. Insane. This is a treat. And I'm so happy that I'm watching it. I think that's gonna be it for me. I think I've gone blank. I can't really think of anything else. I can't think of anything else. We didn't see White Rose. We didn't Obviously, the Tyrell shit. Is Tyrell dead? That's another thing that I gotta think about. Is he dead? I'm not gonna say what show it is. I'm not gonna give any hints to what show, but one of my all-time favorite shows has a twist in which we're looking for a character and they've been dead the entire time, like from the very beginning. And it's one of my all-time plot twists because of the anticlimax of it all. I think that it really hits. Again, I'm not going to mention what show at all, but I mean, I could see that same sort of ideology or situation in this. I could see a world in which they build up the entire season. Where's Tyrell? Where's Tyrell? Where's Tyrell? He's actually dead the entire time. So I don't know if that will happen, and I don't even think that I've been given, other than the fact that Elliot had a gun. I don't even think that there's any details about that other than the fact that he's just plain out missing. So that's yet to be seen. But I'm interested, to say the least. That's going to be it for me. I hope you guys liked the video. I will see you guys next week. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you enjoy the content and you want to see it in the full length and you want to see it faster than it airs on YouTube, check out my Patreon. I'll see you guys.